Whatever it takes. Yeah, I mean, that was, we tell those guys, hey, listen, you're part of the fit. You guys, you can't just, we need 11, not 10. But, that was just a tremendous play, by him. So I think invoking Spencer Benton's name might have made him mad. So I think he was out to prove he could do it. So it was awesome to see. Obviously a huge play in the game.
Jesus is still mad because it's going to rain again on Saturday.
Is that right?
That's what I call for. 90% chance thunderstorms.
Oh wow! Well, we're well prepared for that. I like I said, coming into this game, I was telling the team, "All right, boys, time to bring the Air Force out, and it's time to get the Air Force going." And we end up calling in the Navy because of the situation that we had. But I haven't even looked at the weather, so it really doesn't matter. Whatever, we'll be ready to play no matter what.
Saw Mike Williams walk by. How was his visit to the doctor?
I have not. I don't know. I haven't got a report. I know he went today, but I haven't talked to Danny Poole about anything.
How's this team been focus-wise, emotionally this week?
Good. I mean, it's not a hard group to refocus because again, we we just do what we do. We're very consistent in how we prepare. Regardless of the previous week, and if you. As I said earlier, if best is the standard, if it's a one-game season mentality, windshield mentality, then it really doesn't matter about the previous game, whether it was a win, a loss, or whatever. We just keep moving forward, and all you got to do is turn on the tape, and you immediately have respect for Georgia Tech. This is a good football team. They beat us last year. So they're confident that they can beat us again, and we've got to play well. This is a football team that has to play well, and we've proven that we can find ways to win, different ways to win, and that's something that we have a lot of confidence in. But we're not a team that can just kind of show up and go through the motions and think we're going to win. It doesn't work that way. We got to earn everything we get. And that's our mentality. They know they know that we'll have to show up and play a great game to have a chance to win.
Which one position on the field out of 11 on defense has their job changed the most when y'all played Georgia Tech?
Which one position? Well, really all of them, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know that one is more than the other. Because again, there's not a lot of carryover from what we do other than you're playing physical and low pads and things like that. But, you have to be really locked in on your eyes, and that's always a part of it. But, when you're playing option football, you got to tackle the fullback every play, regardless of what else is going on. Your safeties, their keys are different than what they would be when you're playing a spread, where there may be their eyes are on different things. Maybe it's the number 2 receiver. Now they're looking at wings and releases and things like that. I mean, it's just different. As far as which one it's different the most for, probably the least different for the corner. And probably the least. The rest of them, it's all about the same.
You mentioned yesterday that your offense played poorly last year against Georgia Tech. Obviously, Deshaun being injured was a factor in that, but what do you have to do better this year to have success?
Well, take care of the ball. Don't throw it to them. That helps, when you don't score for the other team. And, we were blazing out of the gates, just up and down the field, off to a great start. Next thing you know, we've got 2 pick sixes. And, it's a great lesson because, Cole wasn't ready to play. Just wasn't ready to play, mentally or emotionally or whatever, and he came in and really had a bad game, and that's a great lesson for everybody. You got to always be ready. You never know, when you're going to get called into the game, and we made some really, poor mistakes right there, and the defense played pretty solid. Held them to a couple field goals, which is a win when you're playing Georgia Tech. You can hold them to a couple field goals. So it was just one of those weird games that got away quick, and we weren't able to get it back. Give them credit for that. So we got to take care of the ball. You turn it over against possessions in this game are at a premium anyway, just by the nature of what they do. I mean, they're a 4-down offense from goal line to goal line. They don't punt very often, and you know, they obviously will work the clock. So your possessions, you have to be efficient, you know, with those possessions. And if you turn it over, you're in harm's way against anybody, but especially Georgia Tech.
What stands out about what they do defensively?
Well, they got a bunch of veterans, a bunch of experience. They know what they're doing. They don't have hardly any rookies over there. They have 15, I think 8 seniors and 7 juniors, 15 senior junior guys in there 2 deep. So, you know, they're good up front. You know, again, know what they're doing, really understand their scheme. I think their secondary is really good. They play great technique. They do a great job of route reading. And if you're not fundamentally sound outside, they're going to be tipping balls, getting their hands on balls because of the technique that they play. They're aggressive, and you know, they mix up coverages. They're not a big blitz team, at least they haven't been at this point. You know, probably about 30% of the time. But when they do bring pressure, they're effective. So, you know, I just think that, you know, Coach Roof's done a great job. I mean, they have a really good understanding of what they're asking them to do. And again, when you have that much experience, you know, you've got the little nuances. You know, so they have not played bad at all. They've played pretty solid. They've had some turnovers and some different things that have been uncharacteristic of Georgia Tech. And we got to hope that they you know, don't put it together this week. You know.
Did Robbie share with you his escapades from after the game Saturday night?
He did not.
No.
He did not. I saw the message to Tim, but he did not.
How are Rogers, Bryant, and Register doing? They're still good to go for Saturday?
Rogers is good to go. Bryant is we're going to hold him. Register, we never really anticipated him being able to play this weekend, but we got him back in practice. He's been out quite a while, so you know, he's one we got to kind of ramp up a little bit because we just need to see, you know, physically where he is. So he just got cleared to get back in practice and start, you know, pounding a little bit. And let's see how it all responds. So we'll know more on him on Monday. But Austin, we're going to hold him, and same thing. We'll reevaluate him on Monday and hope that he can go next week, but we'll see. But he's going to be okay. It's not a long-term type of deal, but it's good to get Dane back.
What kind of challenge does Gotsis pose for the center of that offensive line?
Well, he's a good player. He's a big old, you know, strong guy inside there, and that's 96, I believe. Is that Gotsis?
I think so.
I know these guys' numbers better than I do their names, but he's a good football player. Again, another one of those crafty veteran guys that's been around the block, does a good job at the point of attack, and you know, they do a lot of movement inside. They don't sit still a whole lot, and that's a challenge. You got to do a great job of being able to catch that stuff and pass it off, and you know, we're working really hard just for that. He's a good football player. We got a lot of respect for him.
Dabo, as you settle into the ACC schedule, last year's college football playoff, there's a lot of talk about game control. Florida State was punished for game control. Your ADs on the committee, you have thoughts on what that matters?
What are you talking about?
Game control, the idea of when the playoff committee makes its standings that you have to win by a certain amount or you have to beat